Hey y'all, we're gonna wait just a couple of minutes, see if anyone joins us. We're gonna wait. Okay. I promised a drawing, and I'm gonna move all this stuff kind of out of the way here. I'm not sure if I've got you turned right or not. Okay, you're seeing. What are you seeing? What's behind this shoulder? Okay, I see. Okay, these are the names that made a guess on my last live video. And I told you I was going to draw names. And, hey, Valerie. How are you? I'm half cut off on the top of my head. I can see that, but, and I have my hair mess today. The other day when I did the video about what was it about? Oh, it was the seaside. I did that. I did this. I think this is what I was doing. Anyway, I was drinking cranberry juice, and I asked for everyone that were watching to guess why I was drinking cranberry juice. And I had a few guesses. Thank you, Valerie. It's a wig. It's a wig. I'm not supposed to tell people that, am I? I mean, I've like worn this for, I have like several of them because my hair is very, very fine and very thin. And in the day, it's like, it shows my age, I guess, but it was easier to wear them sometimes. So thank you very much. I did not style or do anything. We just kind of got the little thing off the hook there and put it on. My hair is, I'm going to get my hair frosted this week, I think. I'm pretty sure. And my Steel Magnolia hairdresser, which I found her after I moved here because my hairdresser in California had done my hair for years and years and years. And when I left there, I told her, I says, Kathy, I don't know if I'll be able to find somebody that can do my hair the way you always have done it. She just always knew. And since we've moved out here, she developed breast cancer, and she did not survive. She went through some back and forth treatments and was doing okay, but slipped through the cracks on some of the meds that can be given now for women that have had breast cancer. So it was pretty sad, you know, and she and I talked about that, and I sent her a picture right away of my Steel Magnolia that I was going to do my hair, and her name here in town is Corliss, and she does older, a lot of older women's hair anyway, and so she kind of knows what to do. So the first thing that happened when I decided after we moved here to get my hair, I called it highlighted because Kathy in California always put foil in and highlighted my hair. It did, you know, did blonde in it. So so I made the appointment with Corliss, and I wanted her to trim and style, and, you know, so I could see how things would go. And so then I scheduled another appointment to have my hair highlighted. So I'm sitting in the chair, and she comes out from the back with one of those plastic caps. Can you believe that? That is how she does my hair. And she still does it like that. She does it like that. She pulls that plastic cap on. In the early days, I think that was a rubber cap that they used. But anyway, and she pulls my hair through that cap. So that's how I get my hair highlighted now. And it's gone over a year, and I'm all my natural color. This is not my hair, so it doesn't look right. But my hair will look like this later this week when I go and get it highlighted. Anyway, because my hair is still really dark, and I'll be 75 in October, and I've developed some gray on this side. It's like in sporadic pieces, and there's like a little bit up here, and there's probably gray hair, you know, interspersed in my hair, but it's not. My hair's dark. It's really dark, all dark. So, so when I get it frosted, the gray won't show anymore, and I don't really mind the gray showing, but I wish that it would just do all gray. Then it would save money on having that done. So I am going to really, Valerie. So anyway, I'm gonna have it done later this week, and it needed to be cut and trimmed and what have you. I'd let it grow. It doesn't grow a lot. It's very thin on top, and it was always very fine hair, and it was just not the kind of hair I liked. We're never satisfied with what we have, and it's curly, so that makes a big difference. Really? I have to look at these comments if I can see. No, I'm a Scorpio. The 25th of October. 25th. So I'm one of those, I'm like, I think they say on the cusp or whatever, but I'm a Scorpio, and I'm a pretty true Scorpio. But Valerie, I have a son, my youngest son, who is here with us, will be 39 on the 17th. And I have a middle son who will be 46 on October 22nd. So I have an older son who just turned 54 in June. So my children are all by the same father, and their ages are, you heard, 54, almost 46, and almost 39. We just like had a lot of space in between. But anyway, when I did that the other day, the ones that guessed, and I only had, Valerie, you didn't guess, did you? Did you watch my video and guess what I was drinking cranberry juice for? I didn't see your name, because I'd be happy to put you in my hat and draw when I draw names. There were only 4 of you, so whoever, did you comment? See, that's where I'm having trouble, Valerie. You know, I don't get comments, not from you necessarily. That doesn't mean, but I need my people to comment, and they need to and my table's shaking. I'm shaking my table, and my tripod is leaning. I forgot to attach it, so it's like it's not attached to the wall in front of me, so it's going to move. I have to watch that. Anyway, yeah, I need people to comment and share. They don't have to say anything good. I mean, they could give me a silly face or something and say, hey. Hey, I'm here, or whatever. I mean, that's all I need. And I wonder if people, hey, Kim, how are you, cousin? Thank you. But you got that. You heard that I'm wearing, I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Hold on, so I don't mess up with you guys a little bit. I hope I don't. I think I'm loose. Oh my gosh, am I loosening it? Oh gosh. Don't anybody get sick, because I'm really, I can't figure which way to turn my deal. I was doing it the wrong way. Okay, let's see if that works a little better. I want you to be able to see my surface. So, because we're going to do something that I haven't done, and I've heard from my sponsor that it's probably not wise for somebody to do a project that they've never done. So, no, when I did my video, Valerie, the other day, and I think I made this. I think this is what I was doing. I mentioned I was drinking cranberry juice, and I was pretty upset about that. And I said, bet you can't guess why I'm drinking cranberry juice. I got answers, and they were all right. They were all correct, because women all know that. So I guess, I mean, I never used to drink cranberry juice for a UTI, but that's what it was. They all answered it right, and there was 4. So we'll get onto that. But anyway, as far as that's not gone away either, so I may have to have a different something treatment. But anyway, it's okay. It's not bad, so I'm okay. That's just personal stuff, huh? It's like, maybe it's TMI, but you know what? So I am shaking up. Now, this is my patriotic hat. Oh my goodness, we don't want somebody's name to fall out. No, no, no. There's only 4 in here. We don't want to fall out. So, I'm shaking them up, kind of shaking them up anyway. It seems that way. So I'm going to pull one out. And I did. And they were all folded up the exact same way. And so this is the name that won, and she's not here. I don't have much but it's Ann Owen. So Ann is going to get some happy mail. And all the 4 guessed, and they guessed right that it was a bladder infection or a UTI or kidney. It's not kidneys, but I'm all good and I'm okay. And I'm going to keep these names because these people commented on my video. And so I'm going to do this. I saw somebody else did this, Valerie. It's a Magnolia lady or something. And she keeps her, I don't know what I can't remember the name, but she keeps her little basket and she just keeps the names in it, and she adds, oh no, Kim, is she going to be okay? Because I believe she sees the same doctor's office I do, and I couldn't get in. So I was really, really, really a little bit upset. So I called there today. I called there last Wednesday, and they said, well, you have to go to his nurse. So they put me through to his nurse. I'm telling stories now. Put me through to his nurse, and she didn't call me back that day. I told her what my situation was, and I also told her that on Thursday morning at 9:45 I had to be in Columbia for an eye injection. So, and that's something I can't miss. I just won't miss. But oh no, not about my hair. It was about the Valerie. It was about the UTI. But anyway, oh, well. Oh, I didn't realize that she was on hospice. Oh, but I think probably that's what they would give me, Kim, is, I think they gave me Septra, for over a year. Well, and is she memory, she's, does she have Alzheimer's, or does she have some dementia? Yeah. So, well, you know what? Hospice is really good. Every hospice that I dealt with in California was really good. It's the way to go. It really is. In every case that I knew, hospice was very, very efficient. The nurses were all really good, And even when we had residents on hospice in the nursing home, you know, hospice sent their own staff in to help care for the residents. So it would be the way I would want to go. But anyway, back to the doctor's office. So the girl, they didn't call me back until Thursday morning after I'd called on Wednesday. And I had trouble even getting through to them in the morning. It took a couple of hours. They were like, it kept going to their phone voicemail instead of going to somebody like a receptionist. So she called me Thursday morning. I was sitting at the table just waiting to get ready to head out to, okay, thank you, Kim, to head out to Columbia, which is like, you know, it's like a 20-minute, 30-minute drive to get to my eye doctor's office. And I knew that I couldn't, you know, when she called, she said, we have an opening at 10:45. And I said, there's no way I can make it back in time. So I said, do you have another opening? Because they won't let you drop off a specimen. That's the part that infuriates me. Dropping off a specimen would save Medicare dollars. Just let me bring a specimen. You test it. You prescribe then. And if the culture comes back a different bacteria that you need to change the antibiotic, you can do that. That's just easy to do. And it's like, why can't you just do that? That saves money for everybody. So she said, oh no, that was a cancellation. You can't be seen we don't have an opening for 2 weeks. And I said, well, I guess I'm going to force water and cranberry juice and hope for the best. Because I didn't really want to go to urgent care, and I'm not at that point yet. So I did call this morning. It's a Monday. And I changed offices. It's the same conglomeration, but I'm in a different, I'm in Lugoff. Kim might know where Lugoff is, but I'm in Lugoff instead of Camden. And I'll be seeing a nurse practitioner that I really respect and I really like. And she sees my husband all the time. He's a VA, but when he needs to be seen by private doctor, she's the one that sees him, and she loves him to death. And so I respect her, and we understand each other. And it's like, I'll have to see her because it's a first visit, but I don't understand why you can't just drop off a specimen or go into the office, give them one, and because that's all they do. The doctor never touched me when I went in for that kind of thing. I sat in the little chair in the office, in his office. He came in, and by that time they already had read my my urine and said that, oh, yep, you've got an infection in your bladder. And he came in and said, that's it. Never did anything. He might have, my blood pressure got taken by the nurse and my temp and my weight, but he might have listened to my heart, but I don't think so. I don't remember that. I don't remember he did. He just sat there and he input in his little computer an antibiotic to the pharmacy. It's like, and that's not right. But anyway, that's another whole story and another whole thing. And I just hate to see that. So I'm going to find myself a little basket here that I'm going to keep over to the side, and I'm going to keep the names of people so I'm going to leave, I'm going to ask for comments tonight. I'm just asking for the word sunflower. You're not going to get a link to anything because I'm not really doing that, but I am doing the etched sunflower, and we're doing a smash can. My husband, my son brought these cans home, and my husband smashed it and painted it for me. And then I went ahead and did the inside, and I put some foam in there to make so that it's got something on the bottom. I don't really know how to do these, and like I said, I hope it's not a mistake doing something I've never done before. But I've already got some styrofoam in here because I'm planning to put some flowers. But the key that we're going to have here is I need to hang it up over here on my little nail so that it's out of the way for now. He stuck little holes in and I put the wire in there. What I'm doing is I'm doing sunflowers on this foam, that same foam I was talking about, foam sheets, thin foam sheets. So I've got 2 here. And I'm going to do one more, and I'm watercoloring them. So I am putting them on the foam, and this is our etched sunflower transfer. If you put the word sunflower, I'm going to enter you into another happy mail. Another happy mail. Kim, thank you. I appreciate it. And if you want to be in my drawing, it's not a bad gift. It's a happy mail, and I think it's a fun thing. So I'm not going to use but just what I need of this. I was thinking about doing 4 of these, but 3 might be enough on that can. So what I did the first time with these 2 was I did them in... I think I just did them in whatever. Yeah, I just mixed, you know what, it's not whatever. I mixed bumblebee and orange peel and just did my sunflower like that. This time, I want to do my sunflower in bark. And let me look. I was going to look at that, Aunt Mary. Oh... You know, I remember her. I so remember her because she and Mama were always kind of able to chat a lot because of nursing. And we didn't get to see you guys a lot, though. We didn't see you very much. That was the sad thing. I mean, you know, I guess you were that too far away. Okay, thanks, Kim. Love you, and I'm so happy that you hopped on. Bye-bye. So Valerie is you and I, maybe. Anyway, let's see if we can do this. See how this is going to work. I did not wax this, so I think I probably better, even though my transfer is... Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I thought I waxed it before, but I'm not going to wax it. I'm going to see. I'm going to do this outer part of this sunflower in bark. And I always sometimes get confused with the screen on these transfers. I think, ooh, when it's all green, that means there's not going to be any paste going on to the surface. And I tend to forget that sometimes, but this is what I want. This is outline only. So, and I'll do the inside with something else. I don't want to go too close to the inside because I don't want it to be real brown. I'm going to dot that. Okay, so here we go. We'll see how this looks. It's going to look strange, probably. Okay. And I forgot to turn my television off. My husband is at the Allstate office trying to help. They got a new office, built a new office, and we were in there early on, and he started talking about something, and well, lo and behold, he told her she needed her desk refinished, and so he's refinishing her desk and hanging pictures in their new office and mirrors and stuff. So he got a little job. So anyway, Valerie, did you get a lot out of Michelle's thing today? I'm kind of excited. I'm going to go back and listen to it again, but I think I'm kind of excited about how to do that. I need a lot of direction of what to say sometimes, so that will help me Now I'm not gonna do this. I'm see. Okay, I think that's gonna be good. We got it. We got that. So let's go to the center. I'm gonna use camel. I was gonna do something different, but I'm trying to keep this where it won't take too long. But I'm gonna put camel in the center because I'm also gonna mix it with other stuff when I watercolor, I think. That way, I should probably do that now. Just a little bit of that. And I think the orange. I'm actually using baby wipes to just keep this clean, so I'm less stress there. My pastes are running out. I need to, oh yeah. Well, when I got on there, I was surprised there was nobody there, and she was kind of wondering, like, you know, it's just she and, it was she and I in the beginning. And so then she said, well, tag your people. Then I thought, well, I don't know who to tag. I tagged the one designer that I have, Rosalie, but Rosalie's in California, and sometimes she's it's a working time, and so I wasn't sure, you know, that she would be able to see it. I tagged her. She'll watch it on replay more than likely because she didn't come on, I don't think. So, but then I put your name in. I put Ashley's name in because I know Ashley tries to catch them, but I don't know if Ashley even came on. I don't know. And see, that's got brown in it, so I'm not going to put it back in there. That's a shame, but that's the way it is. Wasted paste. It's all right. I need, I'm trying to decide also which one's paste that I want to order before the catalog, because we don't know what's going to carry over. For sure. I mean, we don't know what's going to be there and carry over. Oops. I need to put these people's names away. Hold on. I have so many containers, it's not funny, and I think I can find one. That's not going to work. Okay. Okay. Got a spot. Okay. I wanted to put those names away. Anyway, because I'm thinking, if the Shimmer Harvest carries over, I want to make sure, you know, if it's not going to carry over, I want to get some of that because I really like that. But it was an autumn color, so I'm not sure if they'll carry it over or not. So here we have what I've done so far. That's okay. It's not too bad. It's just little stuff there. And now I'm going to watercolor it. And I'm going to bring in the other two. See, when I did these two, I did them different. But I wanted to have a distinguishing something different that would be different, really different. So now the way I did this, and I don't know if I did this on this other video that I was talking about. I'm going to put some water right in here to use my brush. And I'm going to put a little paste. Anyway, about the colors. I'm almost out of Bumblebee. And so I think I need to get that. Because I like that color. I've used that more than I have any of the other color of the yellow, the other yellow. And then I have another yellow that's retired. So I kind of don't want to have a lot of stuff that I can't utilize except to do, you know, to do projects that I'm making projects to sell or something, which it doesn't matter. But I kind of do want to get the Bumblebee. And I mean, yeah, I do want to get Bumblebee, and I want to get that Shimmer Harvest. And I did hear on last night that the the shimmer silver and the shimmer gold, not the rose gold, because the rose gold's a beautiful color. It's really, really beautiful. But the shimmer silver and the shimmer gold are coming out redone. So at some point in time, when you order one of those, you'll be getting the new mixture. So I'm sure, because all these other new shimmers that came out, they were really, really popping. I mean, when we got them last year, the shimmer olive, the shimmer eucalyptus is beautiful. I mean, to me, it was a beautiful, it just had a beautiful color. So the silver, they didn't like it was too silver, too much, I guess, of something. So that formula is changing and the gold is changing. And I would imagine they're going to be a lot more striking when we get them. So until the stock runs out, we won't, that's all we'll have. But that's all good and okay. And so can you see me? Can you see me? You can't see me here, because now I've got that thing, I got the camera too high. The camera's too high, so I need to... Why? Oh, because, I get confused with this camera, Valerie. It's like, you can see me, but I wanted you to see me color. See, when I look at this, it looks like it's closer to you when I turn it this way, but it is closer to you, but it's, I want it further out so that you can see better, since I'm not going to move the camera again. Okay. So as long as you got good coverage there, I just have to know which way to move to be in the camera. So I'm going to wet my brush a little bit, and I just use one of these really small ones. And I kind of find myself just cleaning it with a paper towel as I go. And I kind of mix up a lot of it a little bit. I mean, I did not use any bark with these others. And so I'm not sure if I want to. I am going to use it a little bit, but I need to have the paper towel. Okay. Because this is important for me to keep my brush kind of dry brush a little bit. Just trying to get it positioned so you can see. I have a light over here that if I turn it on, it's a beautiful light, but it does something to the camera. And I don't have a ring light. I never did have one. I have Ray installed two long fluorescent-y, well, they're not fluorescent, but they have that look, on the ceiling. They're just like about so long, and they have a plug, and they come down to an extension cord on this back wall of mine. But they give me the light I need, and then I have a big LED light on the ceiling behind me because I need a lot of light. And but this little OTT light is a really beautiful, nice light that I got for doing cards, for making cards, because it gives me, specific light to see. And but it throws this camera off. So I was thinking about doing just starting to put my Archon and just do heads over my hands, no face. But that would just be, well, the card crafters do that. They first show themselves and then they turn it down and they make cards, and they're chatting with you and talking with you and doing their cards, and you don't see their face unless you have that there's a program you can have that's called Switcher. I don't know if there's another one, but it's and I think you have to have iPhone and a Mac, I'm pretty sure, to use that. But it's a pricey program, and I can't see the need for that. If I became some kind of high-powered influencer, that's a different story. But I'd like to get a craft space where I can stand with the camera facing me, kind of like Debbie does, and like I said, because it would be more comfortable and I think easier to do than sitting here. This is a small space that I'm working in. But I started on my stove in the kitchen, so when I first videoed myself, so that was the only place I was doing it. This desk was covered with Brothers Scan and Cut, a Gemini electric die cut machine, and my other die cut machines, Sizzix die cut machines and what have you. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they cut images, they cut dies. Dies cut shapes out of cardstock and what have you, and stamps when you stamp. But this table is an IKEA table that I brought with me here, and it was covered with, it was loaded with all that stuff. When I would do a card over on my other desk or make something over there, I would come over here and cut my dies and do stuff, and it was, you know, but that was all I was doing. So I kind of put all that aside, and I'm just doing, mostly I'm only doing the videos now. I'm doing from here is of course Chalk Couture, and I still do cards, and I do swap cards with friends in California, I should say Tracy. In California, we have once a month we do a swap. We pick a theme, and everybody makes however many of us participate, maybe 10 of us. You make 10 of the same card, and in the theme that's chosen, and then we mail them out, and you get 10 back from your, and this is one of those, it's not like the dish towel thing. Remember when you could do dish towels and swap them around and send them to people and you were guaranteed to get so many back? Well, that doesn't happen anyway. With cards you do. Everybody honors the card swap system, so that's kind of fun. Valerie, are you going to you're going to ChalkCon, right? I mean, I'm virtual, but you're going, right? Ann Owens, you won. Miss Smarty, Miss Lucky, you won. Your name was drawn out of the hat. I don't know how to do that, Ann. It says you want to be in my video. You are on my watch thing here. Just so you know, I'll send you a message, and I have a little Happy Mail gift for you that'll come show up for you. 'Cause you won. There was only 4 of you, but you won. I appreciate you watching and guessing. I appreciate anybody that watches, sharing. I know I'm not supposed to say share, but that's what I'm saying. Sprinkling it out there. Hit the like button, or hit the heart button. The heart button's a good one to hit, and spread my love out there. You were lucky. Hey, Annie. Ann Owens won. But your name stays in my hat or my bucket. It stays in there. So as long as I get comments on this video, it'll stay. So you're here, and I'll keep adding folks that comment. The word sunflower, and you'll stay in the drawing. I mean, it'll just be a different Happy Mail, but Ann Owens, who is a friend here in Camden. There was 4 of you that commented that I had a UTI, and Ann is actually, I believe would I have this right? Anne, you're married to somebody that I was um, a good friend of, right? In high school, we went to school together, and Anne, you were before us, right? I don't, did you go with us? Hey, Valerie, that's okay. I enjoyed it. It was nice to have you, and you go and come back and watch to see my can, see how it looked when I finished it. I'm painting a sunflower, y'all right now. I did two the other night. I did these two, and they're kind of plain Jane. But hey, cousin, how are ya? It's good to see you. I'm going to try, and I'm trying to do this in a way that, I mean, it's an abstract kind of thing, you know, it's art kind of thing. So I need the comment, the word sunflower, and a like or a heart. Give me a heart, and share it if you will. But the word sunflower will get you in my Happy Mail drawing. And the names that were still in the drawing from last week for the UTI, will stay there. So Anne has to say sunflower to get back in. You married Charles, and yeah, right, you were behind. Yeah, I know. No, I know you did. No, I know you did. You came to our luau. I was just trying to kind of like say that I think did I date Charles or did I date Wayne? Did I date Charles? I think, you know, it's like those were years that I led sort of a sheltered life when I was in high school. So anyway, it was the good old days. So I'm just putting a little bit of darkness here, and we're all done with that. I'm going to put the brush away. And I think I'm going to dry it a tiny bit. First, I want to make sure that my transfer stays damp so I can clean it later. I'm going to let this dry a little. So here is the smashed can. My son brought me home a couple of these number 10 cans. Ray painted me this one white and a black one. I've already loaded my styrofoam. I really didn't know exactly how. I just know that this is something that's done. I've seen them on Pinterest. And so what I did was I used a piece of this foam and I cut it kind of to go down in here like so. So it's folded in against the can. You're not going to see that anyway because there's flowers and moss and stuff going to be in there. But it makes sure, pretty much makes sure that I've got some from the bottom. Nothing will come through. Ray said he couldn't really get it to stay together that well, and he viced it, and then he went and repainted it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put sunflowers on this, and we're going to put flowers in it and some ribbon. So that's the project. And we're going to use some special scissors. Oops, this is not quite dry. I want that to dry. That looks kind of funky to me, but that's okay. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut it around and out. I should have, this is a technique we call in card crafting fussy cutting. This foam cuts a lot easier than cardstock does. And of course this is chalk paste on here. And so it's like dry, so it's a little bit crusty. You have to kind of cut around it. And I use the etched sunflower transfer to, the etched sunflower transfer, oops, looks like that, but we didn't do the bottom. We just did the sunflower part. And I did it in bark because it's just an outline. And then I was watercoloring inside. And it looks kind of, I'm going to do some more smudging on that, I think. Maybe I won't even bother with that one. We'll see. I need 3, I think, for this can. So, and then I have sunflowers to put inside the can. So let's get this going here. And I wish I could see better. I'm at such a disadvantage with my eyes. But so what's everybody's weekend like? Was it like? I hope you had a good one. Annie, how's Virginia? Yeah, Annie. I have an Ann and an Annie. How about that? And Miss Ann was a school teacher. I had my cousin on here who we hardly ever saw growing up, them, and we didn't see them a whole lot, any of them. Her mother was a nurse in, I'm trying to think, Kentucky or someplace, I can't remember. And her daddy was my daddy's brother. So, but they would come down to visit our grandparents, but we didn't, we didn't grow up seeing them a lot. And she was just on. So if you do the little 3 dots in the up there, up on the, I think it's on the, yeah, on the live is on one side, is on that side, and then the 3 dots are over here to follow, then you'd get notified. And if you don't like getting notified, maybe just keep an eye out. I'm going to try to do more lives, and I will be doing videos as well. With we are going to launch new product. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, okay. I hope she's gonna get better quick. She's gosh, she's such a sweet person. I miss all of you. And life just keeps going on for us all, but it's still, Ray just got news today that another one of his classmates passed away, and 2 of them that are kind of a couple, they're not married, they're a couple, they've been together for a long time, were in now they're all the same age. Ray's 81, so that tells you how old. They were in a car accident. Their car was T-boned, and Don's back was broken, and he is going to be, there was no surgery done. He's going to be in a cast for many, many, many months, they said, and in rehab. She didn't get as much damage or hurt as much. Her seatbelt really protected her. I mean, he had a seatbelt too, but the car hit on his side, they said. So he was the driver. And so that's just sad. And then another one of the classmates passed away. So Ray was kind of sad about that. And it's kind of like, you just hate to get all that news. We're getting news right and left. And since COVID, since life changed in 2020, I'm not supposed to be talking about we're not supposed to discuss it. Since life changed, our lives will never ever be the same again. And you know, I kept saying we're too old to have to go through all this. This is just wrong. It's just not right. You know, our lives have been upended, and young people's lives are upended, but you know, I think they're probably a lot stronger, and I'm just so ready to see some kind of change and something good in the news. That's all I can say. Anyway, we don't be political on this, my thing. It's all about fun and enjoying crafting and just having fun. And I did have a, I don't know, Ann, I was in Bishopville Saturday for the Lizard Man Stomp. I had a booth in that marketplace building, and I'm going to have to tell you, it wasn't conducive to crafting vendors. We had 3 artists there. One of them that was beside me, authors. Beside me was this gentleman, and I can't remember his name. I've got to go look the book up because I said I would get one off of Amazon. He was taking pictures with everybody and selling books like crazy. He's a Lugoff. He was a coach or some head of their sports program or something. And he has also he has another book in the works that's almost being released that is about American Legion baseball. He was into that, and he's going to donate proceeds of that to the American Legion. I imagine this post that's in Camden, but anyway, and then there was 2 other authors there. One was an author of a book about some murder or death or gunfight in Williamsburg County, and the other one was a sci-fi author. He has several books about UFOs and mysteries in South Carolina. So people came to see that and to look at antiques and buy antiques and to buy old dishes. They didn't come to buy crafts. None of the crafters did very well. The only one that really did any good is the Tumbler Girl. So there it is. It's cut out. That took a long time. I'm not happy with this. I want to mess it up. I should just smudge a little bit here. I think I'm going to wet my finger and smudge the center. I'm not liking the way it looks. I was chatting way too much. So all of the Lizard Man thing was just not about anything that was really that good. There was quite a few people that came, though. I think they had I think they had a turnout. Anyway, it was the first one, and the Lizard Man is a legend that I never knew anything about because I was gone when that came. About. This is like a little rubber squeegee I'm going to use, and I'm just going to try something. I'm putting some little stuff on my sunflower here that makes what we call them seeds, I guess. That's what we would call it, huh? Little dots, little seeds. Should have done that to the other ones, but that's okay. It's all different, has a different look. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Look what I did. Ah. Lord have mercy. It's okay. This is foam, remember? This is foam. So Lindell's going to play. I can't believe I did that. I mean, I can believe I did it because anything that could go wrong would go wrong for me, but I want to get this bucket done. This can. So, okay, well, that's not too bad. That's okay. It's just a smudge on the sunflower. It's all right. It turned out okay. I can't see comments now. My comments went away. Maybe I don't have any viewers. Anyway, see that? So that's what I kind of did with that little guy there, and that's terrible. Hey, I want to tell you, Annie McManus, there's somebody I see a name came up. I can't see comments, but I saw a name. Michelle Zelstra lives, well, she doesn't live close to you because you're in Tracy, but she lives she lives not too far away. She lives close to Stockton, kind of on the way to Valley Springs. Hi, Michelle. I can't see comments. I don't know what happened. I was watching comments and then something happened to them. So here's what I'm doing. You didn't know. I got a smashed can. I've already put some stuff in it. And I took one of these foam sheets and I cut it and put it inside. I didn't know what to do. I put it inside, and so it's got a bottom here, so nothing goes through, just in case. Because I'm gonna put flowers in it, and I'm not gonna do any chalking or anything on it. And Ray could not get this can to go together. I mean, he viced it and everything, and it just didn't want to stay. This is one of those big number 10s. So my plan is to do these. I did these sunflowers on the foam from our Itch sunflower, and then I'm gonna go ahead now and boy, it takes a long time. I should have cut these out, but I'm fussy cutting our sunflower here. The other one now has to dry a little more because I dropped the black squeegee, this little thing. I was doing dots on the sunflower in the center and dropped it onto the thing, but I recovered it. I recovered okay. So I think that we'll go ahead and do our stuffing flowers in it, because this other one needs to dry a little, and I hate using the heat tool on the foam. It doesn't hurt it, but I hate using it. I was trying to cut this really quick and give us another sunflower to attach. I'm not going to transfer anything onto that. I didn't do a napkin on it. I've seen them done. I didn't watch a video. I saw some pictures of these cans done, and I think I should have watched a video to see, but I mean, what I could see was that they had they did step-by-step pictures on a Pinterest I saw, and they just put foam pieces in there and stuck flowers in. And a few of them, though, I think they might have decoupaged napkins to them. I didn't think it would work I'm using a transfer, so I'm using my chalk by using this transfer on foam, this Itch sunflower, and this is in stock. If anyone is interested, I will leave a link or you can let me know. But it is a beautiful transfer. I really like it. And I got a couple of them because I like the etched look anyway. And I love sunflowers. And so I thought there's some, you can do fall decorations with sunflowers. I mean, to me, sunflower was a fall, more of a late August flower. But we're seeing them everywhere now, so oops, I cut the tip of that one off. I want to get some of this out of the way here. This foam sticks to my fingers. And then I minced, kind of pureed almost, a little bit of chicken up that we add a little bit for flavor to our dog's kidney diet can of food because she won't eat it hardly. And of course she's not supposed to get the protein, but that's why I did, I took my Ninja, which I never use, and I did, some friends had a barbecue and they had a bunch of leg quarters of chicken, and I just took off the bone and put it in there and did it almost to a puree texture. It's very, very, very fine, and I can put just like a little bit in there, and it gives her it gives enough flavor, and it's fine enough that she has to eat the other food she hates. But she kind of ultimately, I've decided that's what's going to work. I gave her fluid today, subcutaneous with the Ringer's lactate with the IV needle. I put it under her skin, and it was running out after about halfway through, so I stopped it, and I'm going to have to finish that up. I hate that. I hate sticking that needle in her. But she's doing really good otherwise. I mean, I think I'm going to have her blood work done and see if her enzymes are maybe better, because she never gets sick, and they told me she was going to get nauseous and she was going to throw up and there was going to be all this stuff, and she's just hungry. She is so hungry. She wants to eat something real. She wants some real food. And the kidney diet food is a prescription from the vet, and we just have to keep feeding it to her and hope. She hates it, but I'm just going to tell you she hates it. So, but otherwise she's in pretty good shape. She's blind and deaf. And then that sounds so bad, but she's just a happy little dog. She smells her daddy when he walks in the door. She comes up to our legs to make sure she's not totally blind. This has all just happened. But to make sure which is which, she comes up to our leg and she'll sniff just so she knows who's who. And she's ready to go out to the garage with him and lay on her bed in the garage while he's doing his thing. So, my thoughts are, we're going to do these flowers on here. And I thought I would do the other one. I wanted to cut it out, and I think I almost dried it a few minutes ago when I wiped it with the paper towel. But I have to dry it. Right in the center, it needs drying. And I can't see. Anyway, I had a winner for anybody that might have not realized. The other night when I was doing this project, and I haven't put a hanger on it yet, but I was doing this project, and I was drinking cranberry juice, and I asked would anybody like to guess why I was drinking cranberry juice, and I have 4 guesses, and I put their name in a hat, and I drew one out. So my friend Ann Owens was the winner, and Annie Santiago McManus is in the hat. So the ones that are left in there, I'm going to leave in, and the words sunflower and a share, or and a heart, I'll draw on my next live. I'll let you know. I'll draw for Happy Mail. So that is that. That's pretty. I think I can hide that. I think I can hide it. I think I can hide that ugly mess right there. I can put it in between the other two. My mercy. I can't believe I did that. That was like, oh my goodness, you did not just drop that. Black. It was black. Michelle, did you get the, did you hear or read about, I heard it from SPG last night. The shimmer silver and shimmer gold are being reformatted. And they have been, I guess, and as the ones that are in stock run out, it will be replaced with the new formula, and they say it's a lot better, a lot nicer. The color change is a color change, and I'm assuming probably the way there was so much glitter or so much I don't know, the shimmer. It was like I guess a lot of people didn't like the color. I know the new shimmers they came out with, that eucalyptus, that's beautiful to me. It just makes a beautiful palette when you start using it. But I was talking about the Ninja, and I got sidetracked. But anyway, just in case, if you didn't hear, that was what she said. They're coming with a new formula for the gold and the silver shimmer. So that'll be nice to have. And I'm trying to decide what I want to replace, because my Bumblebee is almost out, and I didn't have another one. I thought I had a second jar. And I'm thinking, should I replace it? Will they maybe drop it? Or I don't know. There was another one too that I had that I was down to this orange peel. And I'm thinking that might not go. But the orange peel, my orange peel's run out, almost out. And the paste won't keep if you if you get too much of it, and it's not, you're not going to use it. You just have to be careful. I don't want to have a lot either of. I have a lot of paste, and I find that I've only been doing this for a little, since February. This past February was a year, and I have quite a bit of paste, and some retired that I like to use on my projects. So what's everybody doing for the 4th of July? I think my husband has not contracted, this couple that moved out here from California, from Southern California. They live another town or two over, about 45 minutes from us. They're older, and they're a little, they like going places. They like doing things. They like the lifestyle in Southern California, and they don't have it in their town. They're just bored to death. And so they follow this group called the Letterman, that's an age thing. Some of us know the Letterman. I knew the Letterman well. I didn't know them, but I like their music. Anyway, so they are groupies for the Letterman, I guess you would call it. and they're going to be in Vegas next week. And they had some trouble scheduling flights to get there. So I think that my husband's going to drive them to Vegas. And I think, oh my goodness, they'll be leaving the 30th. And I don't think they need to leave that soon, but they're going to be on the road during the holiday, going from South Carolina to Vegas. And he'll drive their vehicle. And it'll be all expenses paid, of course, but I don't know. I'm spending it with my brother and sister-in-law. Ray, if Ray takes off to Vegas, then he's going to drive them, and I think I haven't been to Vegas in a long time, long time. So, but the Letterman was my genre, a little before my genre. I was more preteen, I think, then when the Letterman were out. Okay, we're almost done. Sorry about this. We're going to get them glued on. I got the glue gun going, so we know that's working ahead of time. I didn't mean to spend this long on all of this. And this is a project I've never done. I would have probably been wise to try one of these cans out ahead of time to see how well it would work. I think I'm capable of doing it, but it's like what could go wrong will go wrong when you're doing a live video. You wind up with, okay, this foam's sticking to everything. Okay, my plan now, this is like kind of a seam on the back. It's yeah, that's a seam, so we don't want that showing. Okay, my plan is I wanted to really, okay, so we'll do that and we'll do that. I think we'll do it like so. And the reason is because I'm going to do it that way. And the reason is that we have this one. We have this one that needed a little disguising, but maybe I'll just, yeah, and I wanted to, so I'm going to put him in the center, and I'm going to go ahead right now and glue him. I don't think you have to. I don't know how foamy works with glue. That was something I didn't really think about. Anybody tried that? Annie, if you're still watching, please give Virginia my love. If not, I'll try to send a message. I need to send her a card pretty quick. I want to use the part of this sunflower that covers the best over here. It's got the most coverage. I'll do it this way this time. I mean, they're not going to go flat to this anyway. And I'm pretty sure that this is hot through this. I hate wearing these finger things, so I just try to have enough of them to spread all over the place to use. I think that's not bad. I wasn't going to do that completely flat there. It's flatter than I wanted it, but This works just about right, I think. Maybe down. What do you think? Or like that. I think I'll go like that. I think that's the best. I was going to do it like that, but I'm trying to offset a little bit. I'm not... I'm going to go with this. It's like not rocket science. It's just going to go and stick. That's what it's going to do. I think that these adhere pretty well, though, it seems like. I hope they're adhering well. So that is going to give us that part. It's what it is. Maybe a little bit here. Oops, let's press and hold, press and hold, press and hold. Okay, so we've got that done. That was the worst of it, the most of it. I have the biggest mess on my desk. Biggest mess. And my little palette needs to be washed. So, oh, I had these out because I was going to be really funny. Today's National Sunglass Day, according to my calendar thing. So I was going to come on with these. I thought they were kind of cute. I can't see. I need my glasses to see. So these don't help me see at all. And then there were these. I got these at the Dollar Tree in Kershaw, which is a Dollar Tree Plus. We now have one. Aren't those cute? I thought these were kids, but they fit my face. Okay, I have a pretty small head actually. Okay, let's bring these flowers out and quit playing. And we're going to put paste away or off to the side because we're going to need space here. That's what I hate about working on this desk. The organization is, and there's that name, Ann Owens. I did my shirt last year with chalk ink and the Volkswagen transfer. I don't remember where the flowers came from. I took them off of another transfer. I mean, I used another transfer to do the flowers. I thought it would be kind of cute to have a flower child thing there. Okay, here we go. I have moss. I have raffia. I have some really neat sunflowers and stuff. I mean, some of these are falling off, but the sunflowers aren't staying on. They must be from the Dollar Tree. These ones I thought were really pretty. They kind of look. These are Mainstay. That's Walmart, I think. Yeah. So we're gonna cut this stuff. Cut them off so I have what I need. Or let's see. Y'all, I don't know. And this foam might not be the right kind of foam. I might stick them down just a little bit that way on that one. Let's see, I don't think I want them that high, so we're gonna need to cut them off some. Heaven help me with these things. My husband said, I found you some, look at those, look at those things. I have little ones, but he said, I found you some. I said, okie dokie. He's a good husband. Okay, now I'm going to stick this in here like so. And these others, oh yuck, I got this laying in. Oh my word, I have a mess here. Do I ever have a mess? I laid those down in this tray. That is called a mess. Right, I'm putting that down on the floor. I don't know what got in it, but oh, that got in water. Okay, it's more water than anything else. Okay, it's okay. So some of these look different, so that's why I thought I'm gonna go with since they look so different. I really like these sunflowers, but we may just use these in the back. Let's see. I'm going to just start having at it here. Ooh. I just have to find the stem that this one came off of. That won't be too hard, probably. Okay. Now, I think you want the hanger to be to the back, and so therefore your flowers are going to be in front of that wire. It's possible I had my husband put the holes for the wire on each side, but I don't know, maybe this is too tall. You can only cut so much of this off without cutting all these flowers apart. And I think that's what I'll do. Let's just cut them all and do them separately. Like arranging. This is certainly cannot be that complicated. I mean, there's I'm putting them down low and staggering. Now they're beginning to look a little better. Let's see. See, this is a different flower. It's almost like, I don't think this came off of a stem that I have here. Nope. So we're going to use these three. We don't need that one anyway. And we're going to be putting a couple more little yellow flowers here. The plan was to put moss, and I think I should have put the moss first, but we're probably going to put the moss in the back. So This is a different flower. It's got a, I mean, it's a different stem, different leaf, and it stands out, so I'm not going to use that. So let's pull this moss, and I want to have the moss ready. You know, if I were doing this not on a live, I would just be going, just doing it, you know, not worrying about what's, and it all would come together just great, I'm pretty sure. This little metal thing on the glue gun's getting in the way. Okay. I just want to make sure, and I kind of think the moss is better from the back side than it is the front. Y'all, it's like better from the back side. I think I need to do it this way, because as long as they're low enough, I'm going to stick my finger in that hot glue in a second. Hopefully it's already, okay, it's already sealed in there. Okay, I'm seeing a little better here. A little better idea here, because we're about to change up that thing. I'm putting them in like a circle around. So it's like, well, you see, you can kind of see what I did, that part. That's not how it's going to stay, but that's what I did. So I'm gonna now work on this piece of foam. Should probably be glued down too, but maybe not, because you know that could just slip right out and we could put some new flowers, some new something in there, change it up. This moss is a little bit sketchy, really a little bit sketchy. I do like it, the moss. Okay, there's nothing hot back here. I don't know why why I jerked my finger. Okay. Please don't laugh. Please don't laugh at my finger. I wanted to do this, and this was like a really good price at Hobby Lobby, because it was 50% off. It's $5.99, so it was half of that. But all I'm going to use is this. It's like this long thing. Is the top. The top three. I guess my husband really meant well with this stuff, but this needs to be shorter. Probably. All right. Now. Oh, yeah. Shorter. I have the biggest mess. I have the biggest mess. Mercy, I have a mess. It's okay. I'll be the one to clean it up. That's okay. This is the fun part. It's just, for me, the fun part, doing this. I am not sure that these really look that good. I'm going to take a tiny bit more off of this so that it goes down just a little bit deeper. It could be a mistake, but this was my prettiest, the prettiest sunflowers that I saw, and they're staggered, so. Now this has to go through here. This cannot be. Did I melt that stuff? Melted that styrofoam. Nothing wants to stick in it. Oh my gosh. My word. There we go. Okay, we found the solution to the problem. Now, it's just a jumble of flowers, and I looked at another one that was done, and I wasn't sure that it would make any difference how they got jumbled in here, but I guess they do. Okay, there we go. Now, we could be done, and I want to do some raffia on the bow, but I think no, I don't think so. I think that's too much. We already have too much. I mean, I had thought about doing what's left of some of this, but I don't think we need to. It's gonna hang like so. I don't, it's, you know what? It's what it is. It's not exactly what my mind wanted. So I'm gonna take raffia and play with that really quick here. I have ribbon. I have a lot of ribbon, but I was not sure what to use. So this is one that I had not used, and I thought, will it be too much? I don't know. I don't know. But I haven't used it, and I got this at Carolina Pottery, I'm pretty sure, which is a craft, which is a wonderful yard and garden craft everything store. And let's just do an awareness bow. An awareness bow. Let's do this one, and let's do one behind it, or in front of it, maybe a little smaller. I'm doing what I'm doing here. That's just all there is to it. So we want our tails to be the same. So the awareness bow is, you take the awareness bow like so. You just scrunch it down, and you scrunch. And this is just a little bit bigger, longer. We're going to scrunch it. And so we have two tails, 4 tails. that will be dovetailed, and we're gonna do something interesting here. We're gonna wrap and wrap. I want to tie first, tie it a little bit with this raffia. Raffia is a good cinching material because it doesn't break. I mean, I've never had it break. It's like stronger than strong, but you need to tie it. You need to get a good single knot at least to start. There we go. I think that'll look okay. Then I'll pull it down here. I will, what will I do? I'm gonna knot it and then I'm gonna bow it. So that gives us a little, and this is the way we go. We flow. I'm left-handed, for anybody that doesn't realize it, so I sometimes might look odd tying my bows. Maybe not, but I am left-handed. Okay. I was going to put a lot more raffia, but I think that's good enough. Let's dovetail and let's get this bow on here and be done. I think I'm going to tie this bow to the side with the raffia. It won't be permanent like that. It won't be glued. I mean, I'll put a little glue on it, but it'll be easier to take off and deal with. Okay. Maybe we should redo that. Okay. Okay. This is probably one of my longer videos, one of my longer lives, and didn't want to do that. Okay. We have to decide what we want to do with this, if we want to. I think a bow on the side is going to be lost. We could put this on a stick. We could put it on here. But I think the side is probably better. It's really far off. That's the whole thing. That's what I want to do with it. We're going to tie it over here to this wire. And for now, call it good. I think I'm going to do the wire a little bit different after I'm all done and make it a little more stable. It's in the holes, but I think the holes should have been in a different place. Okay. So this gives us a little more raffia to play with. This is what we are going to have for now. For now. But I really feel like it needs to glue. Y'all, can we live with that? It's kind of all the way around, you can see it. It's kind of odd that, I mean, I didn't realize it was that much. There we have it. Is that okay? Is that all right? We have a can. We have some etched sunflowers on it. I'm going to Mod Podge them shine them. I'm going to take them, I'm going to take and Mod Podge them, and it'll seal them as well. And then I'm going to bring this bow a little bit further down because it's not, let me cut it. It's not below where the, it's not where, down below where the wire is first attached. It was above it, so it was a bad setup. And on top of that, I think I needed to do it. Okay, here we go. We're going to do it like this, down by the hole that the wire comes out of, because I wrapped the wire around yeah, the wire was wrapped around, so I had it above the wrap, so it makes where it was wired all around there, twisted, and it's not low enough, so we're going to bring it a little bit lower and a little more stable. And all we did was just do another piece of raffia. And I may put more raffia. Raffia is all good. There's nothing wrong with it, just good. So that gives it a little more, the bow is stuck down there. It stays. Whether or not you think it's a good thing. So that's it. And this is going to hang like on a doorknob. It's going to hang on my front doorknob. I think it'll be cute. I really do. Okay. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, I love you all, and I hope that you have had a good weekend and a good start to your week. If you will share and spread for me, I will put your name in. I had Annie, I had Ann again, and I had, what did I have? I had my cousin Kim, I had my cousin Ellen, and I had Michelle, and I had Valerie. So I appreciate everyone that jumped on with me and indulged me in this, this endeavor. And it's like, I'm just gonna, you know, keep on keeping on at this until I've got it all right. So thanks again. Love you all, and God bless. Bye-bye.